Last time, with Check the Effects on the Smart Rail series, our scenario is we have one minecart train that comes in and goes up and over the ramp and is waiting to have its ticket sent back to it. As well, it's already changed the direction of the track, or possibly changed the direction of the track into the way that it wants to go. Then we have another minecart train coming up behind it, which would also switch the rail to the way that it wants to go, and if not stopped, it can actually even crash into the train that's in front of it, and they end up going as one train and the whole system gets messed up. To remedy this, we have a buffer ramp. So we're going to go to station number 1 and station number 2. What the heck? Okay, so let's let this one go, then we let this one go. And they're stopped. First one gets to go first, and it goes to station number 1. Perfect. Now the second one. Oh, we got some mounts back. It corrected itself. There we go. Let's go towards the next ramp. It's up and over. There we go. It made it. Now there we go. Station number 2. Now the only thing now is that we have one train coming from one station and going to 3 other stations, so one of 3 other stations, and it only goes in one direction. So from station X, where we have our little launch ramp there, and it goes to station 1, 2, or 3. What if we want to go from station 2 or 3 to station 1 or X, or from station 3 to station 2, from station 2 to station 3, from station 1 to station 2 or 3, or to station X? How do we make this completely decentralized and have trains being going in both directions? Well, that's for the next tutorial. Hey everybody, it's Check the Effects with another Minecraft tutorial, and today we're continuing on with the Smart Rail series. So today we're going to continue on with decentralizing our system by creating a intersection that would allow us to travel in all 3 directions. So let's say we'd have point of origin A, B, and C. So in this case, you'd have, let's say, from A we want to go to B or C, or from C we want to go to point A or B, or from B to A or C. By creating a 3-way intersection, we're able to do this. So without further ado, let's get to the tutorial. Now actually, before we get into the main tutorial, I want to make a small note. My hard drive crashed just some time ago, just a short while ago, so all my previous recordings are basically gone, like the raw ones are gone. I do have backups of the the edited videos, but the previous raw ones are no longer around. As such, also I've made a note to have this done redone completely on our creative server, such that if I ever run into that problem ever again on my computer, I still have my original copy. Now, thankfully, I managed to make something here that was actually more new and improved. I made some changes to make this more better for the future integration of other parts that are going to be into the system in this intersection here. Please note though that we have these hoppers that are going straight up, and then the ramp that comes on your line here, where you have your minecart with a chest in it, which will go off this way, comes up around here, and it goes up to here. Also, I've standardized the ramps such that you'd have latch for each ramp would be at this position here. So it's be like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, roughly around 3 or 4 is where you'd have your latch, and then that actually makes it so we have less redstone to get to this point here, and it's just a matter of feeding the wires into the right position. So the buffer ramp and the processing ramp both have the latch at the same position, and then it's just a matter of what goes where and feeding them. This position is just right for where the hopper that will be feeding in the lead cart would go, and it would line up with this comparator for switching this processing ramp on and off. Also, I noticed some issues with 1.13. There is a lot of bump back. So I've added in these little ramps here. I like to call them my one-way ramps in order to prevent bump back. Also, the ramps here are a little bit bigger, or a little higher. As you can also see here, it's completely flat. There's no little incline. It's just the ramps that go into the turns. And the reason why we have the ramp over here is because you get bump back when you're going upwards on an incline. So that's a problem with 1.13, and so to remedy that, I have added this in. Hopefully Mojang will get that fixed so we don't have any bump back when going on an upward incline with a minecart train. So wherever there's an upward ramp, we have these inclines, these one-way ramps that are there over here, here, as well as over here. Also, for visualization, I've added in a tunnel here just so you guys can see that this is the size of the regular tunnel through most of the smart rail system. So this is how it would look. I'll go into how to build this. It's very simple on how to build this later on. And then after, when it gets to the smart rail intersection, it would then span out like this way. So it's about 10 blocks from this point to that point over there inclusively, and then go off in, you'd have this one would go off in that direction, and the other train would be coming off in this direction. So this is the whole thing with the intersection. So let's take a look at what it's like with just the intersection. So here is the actual intersection cut out from there. Thank God for World Edit. I was able to copy and paste this straight out of there. And I just made one small change out of it, is that you'd see that typically on the other one this would be a powered rail. I just made it like this so it's just easier to see that, okay, this is where your input would be. Okay, you have your regular rails on either side on there. So these one-way ramps with the yellow concrete on them, what this is for is essentially if you're going into the intersection, if you get any kind of bump back up on the ramps or on the turns around here, right around here, then this would prevent it from falling out of the intersection and have it continue on in the correct direction. What these do here, the ones with the red concrete, are to prevent it from going back into the intersection for some whatever wrong reason. Let's say, for I don't know, there's an animal or something that's on your rail, like a cow is on the rail, and your train gets bumped by the cow and ends up going backwards. Then what happens is it'll hit this ramp, go up it, and then it'll continuing on without interfering with any of the redstone here, which is very important. We don't want any interference with these detector rails, particularly when we have this thing being in operation. Okay, otherwise you can have other trains be thrown off, and then you're in a bit of a mess. So that's why we have these red ones are to prevent re-entry into the intersection in a backwards manner. Okay, and these are to and make sure that the ones that are coming in do go in on the correct path. So that's why we have it color-coded red and yellow. Also, you may notice that my redstone wiring is on stone blocks. This is just for ease of visualization so that you can notice what's what. Otherwise, if I put everything in the exact same block, it's going to be hard to notice at first glance as to what is what. Now on to the meat of the tutorial. So for this tutorial, you're going to need the following items. You're going to need a regular building block, as well as possibly a half slab, and maybe two building blocks, make that one of one type and one of another, so it's easy to know where the rails are and where the redstone wiring is going to go, and it's going to make it easier to visualize. You're also going to need some redstone dust, redstone torches, redstone repeaters, redstone comparators, detector rails, powered rails, regular rails, hoppers, a few buttons. You're also going to need a minecart, 3 minecarts with chests in them, and also your tickets. Previously, we can use that for we're going to be using that for testing. We don't really need that for this particular build. And the same with the filler blocks. This is just for demonstration later on. We're not going to really need these right now for this particular intersection. So to start off, we're going to have a 10 by 10 square like this with protrusions on 3 of the sides of it. So it's only one side that's not going to have protrusions because it's going to be a 3-way railway intersection. Okay, and so you're going to make this, it's going to be 10 by 10 inclusively. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 up to here. So from here to here, it's 10. And then from here to here, it's 10 inclusively. Also, you're going to have these little protrusions on the sides. This is going to be where your rails are going to come in and out. So first, we're going to start off by building our first ramp. So let's say we're having a rail coming in from here. So we're going to have this go up here. And I'm using, as far as direction is concerned, I'm using the North American standard. If you prefer the British standard, that's up to you. But I'm going to be using the North American standard, so basically we're driving on the right-hand side of the road. So I'm going to put my rails up over like this. And then I'm going to take a couple blocks out like so, and put my regular rails out like this. So we end up with something like this. Next, I'm going to take my building blocks and I'm going to make my one-way rail, my one-way ramp. So let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more. Okay, and also part of this, you're going to need your yellow concrete or your yellow block that's going to say, okay, this is my one-way ramp that's going to make sure that I have my train going into the intersection, and even if it gets bumped back by this ramp. Okay, then we're going to get rid of the excess here and put in our redstone torch. Next, we're going to take our rails like this out this way, and this is going to be where your input is from your ramp. Okay, so you have your processing ramp, that's where it's going to come in from this point here. It's going to pass this, go up and over into either that way or that way. Okay, next we're going to take this out like this and go 1, 2, 3, and we're going to put powered rails on here, powered rails on there, and we can actually take another one out like that, and we're going to put a regular rail here and a detector rail there and another regular rail, and the rest is regular rails like this. And I'm going to put something like this, and it's going to go like that. Okay, then we're going to put this over here. Next, we're going to take a block and we're going to stick that right over here and put our little redstone torch over there. So this is where we're going to have our switching mechanism here. Okay, then you're also going to have this go up like this, and we're going to have this going to power our powered rail over here. Okay, from this side we're going to do the same thing. Okay, and this is going to power our powered rail. Now I'm standardizing this so that these redstone torches are in this position for the powered rails, and this is for, you know, like this for the switching rails, just to make it easier to notice what's what. Okay, so just by looking at this, I can see, okay, this is powering something up there, and this is my switching rail. So I don't want to touch this or this. This is the switching rail. This is where I want to put in my input line, right? And actually, I'm going to do is I'm going to, you know, make this go a little bit further out. So I have, because it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and I just make my detector rail go up a little more. So it's going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the detector rail. So there's a little bit of space behind that when this ends up getting hit by the train, by the train's lead cart. Also, so again here, so we have 1, 2, 3, and we're going to put 2 rails down like this and 1 detector rail like that on this side. And we're going to use a standard for every single one that we're going to be doing. At least make sure that this is as far away from here as possible, right from where you're switching rail. Okay, and in this case, this is as far as we can make it before it ends up getting messy. So now I'm going to take some stone and I'm going to put this underneath here, under my second building block, and put a redstone dust under here. And then also another one is going to go up and over into here. Now these two are going to connect and go into that direction. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to 1, 2, 3. And I may have to fix this up later on, you know, and adjust these as I end up wiring this thing. Okay, let's see if I can, how close I can bring this to here. I'll do like that. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, and I'm going to put a redstone repeater right here. So that way it's just one way, so neither one gets interfered from the other. And then we're going to put another one out like this and let this continue on in that direction that way. Okay. If I wanted to, I could put a repeater here just to make it more easy to visualize. Next, we're going to take your first building block and we're going to build a ramp up like so. So we're going to do like this and like that. Take this out. Now we're going to put a couple of redstone torches right under here and here, and I'm going to put our detector rail up on here this time. Okay, now we're going to put our powered rail like so, and then extend this out like so. Then we're going to take your second block, put it like so, and then put your redstone dust right under there so that when a cart lands on this detector rail, it's going to have this turn on. Next, we're going to put up a ramp on this side as well. So we're going to have 1, 2, and then 2 down like that. Take this out and put in a redstone torch right here. We're going to put another ramp like this, up and over, and extend this out by 1 over here. Next, we'll also put another one like so. And this is going to have your turn like this, as well as we're going to extend this power rail over here, so that way, you know, this wouldn't be a switching mechanism rail right here. So let's go ahead and put our redstone torch underneath, so that you can see that when it switches, and this is going to go off to the other side. So this is coming from this side, so we're going to have it go either this way, or it's going to switch at this point and go over to this side. From here, we're going to put another block over on here and then build our one-way ramp like so. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Get your powered rail, 1, 2, 3, 4, one up like that. Yellow concrete over here, and then take this out and put your redstone torch underneath. And then also we're going to put a thing like this. Now we're also going to extend this out and put this like this. Now what I'm going to do is just test this out to see if it stays in the right direction. No, it doesn't. If I break that, it goes in the wrong direction. So I'm going to fix that so that just in case somebody breaks this rail, it'll always end up in the right direction. So I put this down now, it's going to always go in that direction. So it's hard powered to be that way. As a matter of fact, we should always check that with every single one. So this one, of course, is not going in the right direction. We're going to hard power that and make sure that it stays in the right direction like that. Okay. This, of course, is a switching rail. And also let's test this one to see that it stays in the right direction. It does not. So let's put a powered rail, a redstone torch underneath that too. And now it's going to stay in that direction like that. So let's see here. This one's already powered. This one has power. This one is also powered, hard powered. Okay, so that everything looks just fine now. So next I'm just going to replace this with a powered rail, and I'm going to make another ramp up here. So, and let's take this out like that. And put your powered rail up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more. So we have 5. And then take that out again so that you have this going on. That's going to have your yellow concrete, and then put your redstone torch to power that. Now we're going to put this like this and put another rail here just for test purposes. See which way it faces. Okay, so this goes in the right direction, so we don't need to adjust this. Also, we're going to take another power redstone torch and put that underneath over here, so to make sure that this stays powered. So now I'm just going to take this out and I'm going to put a ramp up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that, and we're going to have our rail go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that, and then it's going to have to come down 1, like so. Okay, and then out by one like this, and then come out this way. Next, we're going to take our excess out from here, take a redstone torch and put that right over there, so that's all powered. Now we're going to take this and take this all the way out. So this is going right above the other rail. Okay, so we have to be careful about headroom here. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is going to come out around here. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, and so this is going to come down just like this. Okay, and from here we're just going to put some test rail, one here, and then put this here, and you can see it goes in the right direction, which is in that way. Okay, so next we're going to then take this and bring this all the way over here, and we're actually, looks like we're one too high. So let's see here. Yeah, one too high. So let's bring this down and bring that up. Bring this up here. So we're going to take a redstone torch and put that over here. Then we're going to take a regular rail here, detector rail here, and then we're going to put regular rail right across over here. Now, we're also going to need a regular rail of this side and this side here. I'd like to see if what we can do also, we can put some power rail in here by doing 1, 2, 3 like this. Now we can't put it below, so we're going to put it beside it instead. So we'll just go like this and put a repeater with a redstone torch, and there you go. That powers that. That's so because right after coming up over the ramp, it's going to come down very little, but then you want to have a little bit more oomph or a little more momentum going out of here so that they all get pushed out. Okay, and then we're going to connect that up. So now we have our connection coming over here. It's going to go up and over and go out that way. Okay, as well as this one coming out over here and going out that way. Okay, so now we have to make sure that we have our wiring done. So we're going to take your second block and put that right under here. You can take this out and put redstone dust right there. Now we have to connect this and that. So let's go ahead and try and do that. We're going to take your blocks out like this. Make note of the redstone torch over here. So we're going to put a repeater right there. And then we're going to, let's see here, we have to bring this up and over or under, one of the two. So we're going to try up and over. So let's do this like so. Let's see here. And in this case, higher would be better. And then once it's over this, so we have 1, 2 blocks there. Like that. Because remember, we have to put some nice blocks in here to make it aesthetically pleasing as well. So remember, so let's take a look here if it will fit like that. So yeah, see, this is already fairly low. So let's bring this up a little higher. Okay. Like so. There we go. So now it'll be a little bit higher, a little nicer. And we'll bring this down now. Okay. There we go. So now we can take our redstone wire from here and just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is here. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I made one little mistake on this, and that's the position or direction of this repeater. It should be going the opposite direction, so this way, because you're going to be coming in from here and out to here, and then you have your another input over here. So that way this will go towards the input on your processing ramp as well as your buffer ramp. Now we'll be coming over from this side, so let's go ahead and put our ramp up here. So 1, 2, and then bring this down like so. Like that. So it's going to be turning up into this direction here. Okay. And it's not going to go into here, but you'll see where I'm going to be going at anyways. So let's extend this out, and then I'm going to take one more block like that, take my powered rail right up and into where the intersection or the turn will be, and then power that so we have like that. Next, we're going to take a regular rail, put that there, make sure you have a block on this side here, and then we're going to build this up like so. So 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, and we're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, and one up like that, and put your yellow block like that. Get rid of your excess and put on your redstone torch. Next, we're going to put a polished diorite like this, put on our little test rail, and see which way it goes. So in this case, it's going in the right direction because it's going to be coming in from here. Okay, and this will be where your processing ramp enters in, and then be coming in and up over to here. Next, we're going to have your other regular rail like so, going right across like so, and then another one going up here, and then put like this to see which way it goes. Now, this is going to be where your rail is going to be switching, so we're going to have it set like that. Okay, and I'm going to take this off for a moment because we're going to have another ramp going up. So we're going to take a block and put that under here, and put a redstone torch here, and you have a powered rail right over here. Next, we're going to put another one-way ramp going up like this, and 4, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take this out and put in your yellow block. Get rid of the excess and put in your redstone torch. Okay, now we're going to put a rail here and see where it goes. Where it goes, it's going in the right direction, so we're set. So now we're going to put our ramp up. So we're going to put, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Should be like that. And I'm going to change this to a powered rail. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 going up. Then this is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's going to kind of come down here. So I'm going to have to make it go a little bit more on this side here. So let's see, let's line this up. Yep, that should be just fine. And then we could make it go one more, I guess, if we wanted to. But yeah, let's bring this. Oh, yeah, so let's bring this out. And let's see here. Yeah, let's bring this out one more just to have a little bit of a space. So it's gonna be a little bit different from the original, or from the one that I showed you there. So that we're gonna have a little bit of a space here. Okay. So let's do this. So we have this going to go. Oh, this is going to go down like that. Okay, into this here, and then we have to put this down at this point here. So 1, 2, and then it's going to go in this direction. So 1, 2, 3. So let's make this come up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Perfect. Let's get rid of all this excess here. And let's put in our redstone torch after we get rid of the excess here. And put that there. There we go. Now we're going to put some regular rail here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we put some powered rail like so, because we want it to push down and have it turn around in this direction here. I'm going to put my powered rail on here, and then let's go ahead and put some regular rails in like this. And we want some power rails to push down on around here so that it forces it down into the turn. So I'm going to take this off and put in a detector rail here and a regular rail like that. So we're going to put a powered rail right under this one here. Then we're going to get our other block and put this like that, and a redstone dust like that. We're going to put some regular rail on here, a couple of regular rails on here, and then we put this one like this. So this one is going in the right direction, so we're fine. Okay, Now this is going on the output, so we want to make sure that we have a little bit of a boost going out. So let's go ahead and put 3 power rails like so, and power those, and then put your regular rail over here. Okay. Also, make sure you want to do that on this side too. I almost forgot that. Make sure we got a little bit of a boost coming out of the intersection. So we put 3 powered rails here. These could be regular, and then power those. That's going out. This one already has it, so that's good. So there we have 1 going out, 2 going out. Oh, we have to have another one over here. So, and let's extend this out. 1, 2, 3, and then regular rails, and then you're gonna put your power rail like that, so it's gonna be powered on that side. So you have it. One intersection, it gets boosted. Another intersection, it gets boosted. Going out. This side also going out, it gets boosted. And then coming out over here, it would have to get boosted as well. So let's extend this out. Okay, and put yourself some powered rail down here. And we're going to take this here and power, power that. We can get rid of this over here. Okay, so that's not necessary over there. Okay, now let's go back to our redstone wiring for the ramp. So we have the first detector rails, they're done, and they're going off into that direction here. Let's see here. This one, the first one's over here. It's going into that one over. That's that direction. Let's put a repeater here just to make it obvious as to which direction it's going. Okay, so I'll put a repeater out. That's gonna be our output. So that's gonna go into our latches. Okay, and then this one, also make sure this is obvious. So we're gonna put a repeater going out like that, right there, and then redstone dust like that. That way we know it's going in that direction there. Now we have the one that's over on that side, so we have another processing ramp on that side there. So let's take a look at where our detector rails are for that one there. So our first detector rail is over here, and then we need another detector rail somewhere around here. So let's put this here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then put a detector rail right here. And then we're going to stick another secondary block here, and a redstone dust here. Now let's be going in this direction, right? So let's connect this and this one all the way over here. Okay, so let's put this underneath. So we're going to go under like that. Oops. Okay, make sure there's no redstone torches around, and let's see if we can bring this either up and over or under. I think it would be safer to go under. Okay. Remember, this is as far as how the wiring travels is up to you, right? And let's see here. Where was my that? Okay, that's over there. So good. So under would work. So let's bring this back up again. And do like this. There we go. And that goes like that. Now this one has some fairly long wire here. So let's connect this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And we put a redstone repeater going like this. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's the thing here. For this one, we could have the output come out from this side, or we could send it out from here. So it's up to you which way we want to go. Just for consistency's sake, I'm going to have it come out from here. Okay. So we're going to have this come out like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to stick a repeater here just to show that this is going out to your latch on your processing ramp and buffer ramps on the side over here. Okay, so those are now connected. But we're still not done yet. We have still to put in our exit ramp. So let's continue on. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, and we're gonna put our here 1, 2, 3, 4, one up on here, and take that off. Next, we're gonna, instead of your yellow concrete, we're gonna put your red concrete on there. So just to signify that this is the one that prevents it from going into the intersection. Put in your redstone torch, and that's that over there. Now we're going to put a powered rail here, 3 of them in matter of fact, just to make sure that it keeps its momentum. And then you have your regular rail after that. And put a redstone torch underneath. Oops, over, just to make sure this stays powered. And then also we're going to put a rail here. Now this is not going in the right direction, so we have to hard power this so that it goes in the right direction, which is that way. Next we have the one over on this side. I'm going to take this out, take 3 blocks or so out here, and then put in your powered rail like this. We put a ramp up, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 up. Block there. Where's the red one? Get rid of the excess. Redstone torch and regular rail. This one is facing in the right direction, so that's good. Remember to power your rail here, and then your regular rail for the rest of it leading out. Last but not least, we have this section here. So we're going to take this out by about 3 or 4 blocks. We're going to take this out, put 3 powered rails down here, and your regular rail like this. We're going to power this, and then put your ramp up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And put this up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 up. Whoops. That is a problem. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to add limit. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to move it over by 1 block. Okay. So let's do this here. 8, 4, 5, like that. Okay. And then we're going to put it here instead, so that you can do like that. There we go. Now we take your red one here, and we'll go back to our yellow one and put that right there. Now you're all set, and we're going to take this here out like that. Put your redstone torch. We're going to put this off by 1. Just like to keep it centered. And then have your regular rail like that. There we go. Okay, and then you can have a regular rail over here, and there you go. Now of course we're gonna need our inputs from our binary brains, so in order to switch the rails over here, so let's do that. So we put that coming out here, and then we'll just feed in our line from our binary brain into the individual switches over here. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing with all 3 of them. So there's going to be 3 of them here. So let's take another one over here, put your repeater in, hard power that, and that's going to be where your input is going to be feeding in. So when I say it's going to be feeding in, this is going to come all the way out like this. If you encounter something like this, you can do one of 2 things. You can either go around it, right, and then put your wire around like that, or you can go straight. If you have enough resources, you can go straight like this, put a repeater there, and now it won't be affected, and then you can connect it like that. And then let's see, the other one would be this one over here. So let's take that out over here, and then it's going to come out like this. Okay, again, you have a situation here where you're going to have to move around it. Okay, we're gonna have to move around these redstone torches. So if you want, you can bring it in from this side, or you can bring it in from, oops, from this side here. Okay, that all depends on your situation. So if, let's say, for the latch, if the mechanism for basically switching this, let's say the binary brain latch is over on this side of the rail, then you can take it on this side. If it's on the other side of the rail, then you put it on this side and have it go down. Simple enough. Now, to demonstrate that this mechanism works, what I've done is I've created some temporary demo cart launchers here. So whatever we have here in stone brick is going to be our little demo cart launchers. So there's one here, and one over here. Also, I've attached levers to the rail switching mechanisms. So if you can see right now it's facing this way, but if I hit this lever, it switches, right? And this is going to demonstrate the function of the binary brain, because the binary brain is either going to have on or off, so either straight or right, or straight or left or right, or whatever the case may be, depending on which way we're oriented. So let's say we want to go straight. So let's go ahead and launch our cart. There it goes, and that goes straight. Now we'll just pretend that's just one big old train, right? Let's take a second one here. It's going to go that way. There it goes. It's going to go left. It's going to go right. Okay. So I'm going to turn that off. Now this one. Okay. Let's see. This one is going to go that way. So it's going to go right. So let that go. And it goes right. Switch to the lever. And then it's going to go like that, up and over, and there we go. It goes in that direction there. Okay. Now let's say we have this one over here. So right now it is switched to go in that direction. Okay. So it's going to go left. That over there, and there you go. You see it goes left and all the way out. Now let's flip the lever, and now it's going to go straight, and there you can see it goes straight. There you go. So that's the basics for that. Let's see how this works on the big system, so with everything all together. And here we have the whole thing put together. We have our buffer ramps, binary brain, processing ramps, and we have our intersection right here. And you can see we have our points of origin coming in from this side, and that side. So it's all hooked up. So let's see how this hooks up with each of these. And it works pretty much the same way for all three of them because they've been standardized. So remember, here we have our output from here coming out. This is hooked up again to our detector rails over here and here. Those detector rails tell us when the train has passed the switching rail over here. So that way we know it's safe to switch again. So because of that, we take the output from here and it goes all the way out to here, and it goes into this block on your latch for your processing ramp. What this does, it'll turn the processing ramp back off again once it's past this point here. Also, it goes on to here where it then goes into this part of the latch for the buffer ramp, and this will turn the buffer ramp back on again, so that the next train would then go over the binary brain, up and over the processing ramp, and then stop here and wait for its ticket to come in, and then it'll be released again and go over. Then we'll have the same thing happen again with these detector rails. So that's essentially how it works for pretty much all three of them. If you want to see what the other ones look like, it's going to be the same thing. So yeah, remember the one over here? So we had this output coming from here. So we have a detector rail over here, and there was another one somewhere around there. And this is where you take your output from. And you basically take your output and goes all the way again into the exact same type of latch, except for the one on this side. This would feed into the processing ramp, and then keep on going over to this side over here, and then go into this side of the buffer ramp. Again, the binary brain will come out from here, goes out this way. Remember, use repeaters to make sure that you can extend the signal strength so that you don't end up with any redstone wire that is longer than 14, and it'll just go out straight to here and go into your switching mechanism. Same thing with the one over on that side over there. Again, we have our output coming from here, goes over to this side here into the latch on the processing ramp. Then it goes over to here into the latch on the buffer ramp. Then we have our binary brain. It comes out from the output on the binary brain, goes all the way over to here into your switching mechanism. And that just allows us to hook all three of these to this and this one to all three of them. So we have inputs coming in from the binary brains on all three of these, and outputs coming from the detector rails on this to each one respectively. So let's try from this side. This is the side that we have the tunnel, so let's just, just for fun, we'll have it set up on this side. Okay, and we're going to go to station number 1. So let's put station number 1, and we'll let that go, and see how that goes. There it goes, it stopped, and there it goes to station number 1. Great, now let's set it up to go to station number 2 or 3. So let's do that, and we're going to put station number 2, okay, which should make it turn right. Okay, there it goes, up and over. And there it goes, over to station number 2 and 3. There's your ticket, station number 2. See, okay, see here? Here's an example of a cart that's getting some back, bump back. Watch what happens in this case. It'll go up, and it'll go on its merry way back. So it doesn't enter into the intersection. That's actually a, that's a chance that by chance that happened there. So that's a good demonstration that this will keep the intersection safe. And back here at station number 1, you get your ticket. Station number 1, there it is. Okay, let's try from this point here, station number 2 and 3. Now, what we have over there is station number 1 and station number 4, which was our first point of origin. So let's put in a ticket, station number 1, and we'll let this go. And we'll have another minecart train put on the thing here. And station number 4. And let that go. There we go. And let's see the first train. It's going over to station number 1. Here comes the second train. And it's going to station number 4. There we go. It's going in the right direction. Where are we at here? Station number 1. Ticket, station number 1. Let me go this way. It's going on its merry way. This thing's gonna drop off because I made it like this on purpose. But this is station 4. Right there. Let's go down and get your ticket. That's station number 4. Saw that was blue, so, or cyan or whatever color that is. Here's the beast over here. This specialized ramp is there to launch 2 trains, one after the other consecutively. So in this case, I want to go to station number 4 on this one, and let's say station number 3 on this one. Okay, and let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and launch it from here, and watch what happens. It'll launch the second one right after. So that one gets there, that one gets stuck on the buffer. That's launched. Goes over to station number 1, and then that gets launched. And there you go, it's going to station number 2 and 3. Let's see us in here. Station number 3. Where are we at? Station number 2 and 3. In that direction. Now let's go over here. Down over here. Well, at this point we are at station number 4. Where are we at? Station number 4. So now you can see that this whole thing works just great. I will make a small note. There are issues that are happening in 1.13. It's everything from carts passing through each other to ghost carts. This server is on version 1.12, so it works just fine. But there are issues on 1.13, which is why we have these precautions like this or like this. And I'm hoping that when 1.14 comes along, those issues will be resolved. Now you may be looking at this and asking me, hey, check, well, this is great, but what happens if we have one train that's in the processing ramp over here and another one over here, or maybe another one over there as well? What do we do to make sure that we don't have any collisions? Well, that's for the next tutorial. Well, that's it for today's tutorial. I hope you managed to find this informative and be able to use this in your future builds. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notifications button. We'll be continuing on with the Smart Rail series in future videos, and do look forward to the next tutorial where we'll be continuing on with the next portion, which will be how to create a three-way stop mechanism for this intersection. So do look forward to that. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Just make sure to keep it clean. This is Check the Effects signing off. I will see you in the next video. Peace.